Hello, loves. Happy Sunday. Hopefully, you guys are staying safe, fed, hydrated, and that you had a good day. I wanted to touch base with you guys about the season I am at in my life right now that I think a lot of people can resonate with. So, I'm in my mid-30s and I'm in this season of starting over slash coming back home to myself. And so I've realized for the past few years that I've lost who I was, the person that I used to be and that I even strived to be wasn't there anymore. And that was a heartbreaking realization, right? When you lose yourself, when you don't recognize who you are when you look in the mirror, when you don't like who you are. And I know I've struggled with, my mental health and stuff throughout the years, right? Uh, but I really want to get back to me, however that looks like, right? So, one of the things that I really want to focus on and work through is my relationship with people and connecting with people. I've always felt I've struggled to build deep, authentic connections with people, not necessarily for lack of trying. I was diagnosed with autism last year, which really puts a lot into perspective. Uh, I like to go deep with people. I like to go deep pretty quickly, right? Like small talk. No, I want to know about your traumas. I want to know about what makes you tick. I know not everyone functions that way, right? um, and learning to take my time with things and with building relationships. And I have friends who I love very much and very dearly, but they are kind of scattered a bit all over, right? Like I don't have any friends like in the city in the area I'm in. My emergency contact is my mom, right? And she states away. So like I don't have someone who I connect and trust enough to be there in an emergency. And when I think about that, that makes me sad and it's disheartening. But I know I'm not the only one. So today I went to a meetup group, and the meetup group is centered around self love and just having these conversations about self love and what does it look like. And there's topics. So today's was kindness towards yourself. We also touched base on patience too, but uh, I've been notoriously known to flake on plans. Usually when it's just myself, right? If I say, "Oh, I want to go to this thing," I may not end up going to the thing. Like I'll even buy a ticket and paid for it and not go. So I was a little skeptical if I would even go, but I did. And I'm so glad I did. It was me and four other people. And we just talked about, once again, patience towards ourselves and self kindness and what it looks like. And we connected on most random things. Like all of us are writers in some shape or fashion, poetry, short stories. Um, we had some like connection to Texas somehow, right? There was another person there that was vegan, which really made me excited. And I just was open and I'm trying to go in myself because I tend to go into things guarded, right? I tend to go into things guarded and protecting myself and thinking the other person or people are going to judge me or not like me. And obviously, what we think is what we think is how we come across, right? If we think people are going to like us and we are guarded, people feel that guarded feeling. So I'm really just trying to be open and hope for the best, not set expectations, and just really just put myself out there in a way that's uncomfortable and a little scary. But I'm so glad I went. And there's already a group chat made, and it's it feels good to at least be putting myself out there. Will there be things as a result of this? I hope so, right? Like, once again, like friendships, but I'm taking it one day at a time. And yeah, for any other 30s, especially, mid to late 30s somethings out there, like it's hard out here. It is so hard to make friends. Like, I don't know. In this stage of life, right? Once again, you're usually post school. Maybe you make friends through your job, and everyone does that, which I get it. I work from home, so I'm also isolated in that aspect. And then people are settling down, married if they're not already, um, or partnered in a long term relationship, or they have kids. And it's just, you find that your friendships start to kind of go to the wayside a little bit. And it sucks, right? Once again, I have friends that I love, and I'm going to work on being more intentional with those friendships, but they're different states or a couple hours away, which is still, grateful for that, right? Like an hour or so away is not as bad as like across the world. But sometimes, it's just a weekend. You want to just like be like, hey, can I hang out, like 10, 15, 20 minutes away, and really just build that community. And just, I, as far as coming back to myself, I am such a loving person. I have a big heart and a lot of love to give. And sometimes, as we know, that can get taken advantage of. But I'm a really loving person, and I'm really trying to get back to that. And I hugged all the four people multiple times, and it felt so good because sometimes I go days without that. And yeah, so going back to that loving part of me that does give people hugs, that is affectionate, that shows love, because there is such a focus on romantic love in our society, and obviously, that's a valid form of love. But I just want to get back to showing love to people, because life is hard, and I just think showing love, hugging, being soft, being gentle, and yeah, I never want to lose sight of that part of myself again. So I look forward to seeing what comes in store for me in that regard. Once again, nervous, but hopeful. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you can relate, you know, let me know, and know that I see you and I get it. So yeah, here is a raised imaginary glass to my don't know what the hell I'm doing in mid-30s, but I'm figuring it out. So that is it, my loves. Once again, I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.